Hello, my name is Kaitlin Maciejewski, and I'm a biostatistician at the Yale Center for Analytical Sciences. YCAS houses the clinicaltrials.gov team at Yale University and is the centralized office for clinicaltrials.gov for the institution. I created the clinical trials dashboard with Shiny to help our office track trials, registration, and results. The Food and Drug Administration Amendments Act, or FDAA, of 2007 is a law that requires certain clinical trials to report results. It effectively came into force for all trials due after January 2018. Since 2021, the FDA and the National Institutes of Health have increased citations and notifications for institutions in non-compliance with required results reporting on clinicaltrials.gov. Many studies still do not submit results to clinicaltrials.gov, and some do not publish results even 3 years following study completion. Institutions are limited by a system which provides useful data, but additional steps are required to effectively track and monitor ongoing activity or plan for future actions. The data that administrators can download from the Protocol Registration and Results System, or PRS, is not simple to utilize for tracking. Some institutions develop their own programs and procedures, but these may not be reproducible elsewhere. Transparency groups such as the FDAA Trials Tracker summarize compliance with mandated reporting to motivate academic institutions and companies to improve compliance. Private companies like TrialAssure have developed software to monitor compliance, but this comes with a cost. To date, there are a lack of low-cost solutions to help institutions remain compliant. Some of the important items regarding compliance are that trials are registered within 21 days of enrollment of the first participant. Results should be submitted no later than 1 year after the primary completion date, and non-compliance could result in a loss of all funding for an institution. The Clinical Trials Dashboard aims to increase compliance by making tracking registration and results simple, transparent, and reproducible. This QR code will lead you to the dashboard. The left side of the dashboard includes simple instructions for a user about what files to download and what the dashboard can do. An administrator uploads the CSV files downloaded from the PRS system, and the dashboard merges, aggregates, and flags study for review. For this presentation, I have already preloaded the sample data. We see that the files are loaded successfully and click Go. The dashboard starts with a tour to guide users through the elements of the dashboard. Users can choose a date range of data to display. They can choose to aggregate the data from month, quarter, or half year. And there are drop-down selectors which allow users to filter study types of interest, such as results status, FDAA status, and NIH funded. There are downloadable reports. Users could click this button to go back to the information guide. This button will restart the tour, and this button will return to the data load. Plotly line plots show interactive metrics for study registration and results. Important metrics include average numbers of days to publish a registration, average numbers of tries to publish the registration, with success being publication within 2 tries. This graph also tracks the average response time from clinicaltrials.gov. Users can hover over data points to see the information in the graph. And as mentioned, they can change the range of date to display and change aggregation. The tables at the bottom also show a tabulated view of the data. There are similar plots for results reporting with additional metrics of results being published within 12 months from the end of study and how many days the results were published past the primary completion date. We can also show how the selectors for something like FADA status would work, or NIH. The two download files include a PDF report as displayed in the dashboard, and including prospective results, including NIH-defined clinical trials and results that are due in the next quarter. The prospective data set is a CSV file that also includes parsed contact information, which can be used to plan compliance activity. The PRS system generates expected results or updates for some studies, but not for NIH-defined clinical trials. In order to flag NIH-defined clinical trials, institutions must enter the grant number and then populate the collaborator field to include NIH funders. The dashboard creates an expected results date using 1 year after the study start date. This is an example of the results file, which shows the tabulated registration data and results data for the sample period. And there's also a table of expected results, including the NIH flag. There's a detailed report including the protocol ID and clinicaltrials.gov ID and update type and date for each study that requires registration updates or result updates. The CSV file also includes the NIH flag and details about the studies, and includes contact information, which could be used to create a mail merge to contact investigators and remind them of upcoming deadlines. The reporting dashboard is a low-cost, transparent, and reproducible solution for academic institutions, which utilizes information from the PRS. Administrators who may not be familiar with data merging do not have to interact with the data. The dashboard also adds identifiers of NIH applicable trials, which the PRS system lacks. We hope this dashboard will help institutions monitor studies and meet compliance. Some next steps for the dashboard include continuing to use at Yale, share with other institutions, and refine given any other feedback. I'd like to acknowledge the Yale Clinical and Translational Science Award, and would like to mention that the dashboard has a link to my GitHub should you have any questions or would like to contact me. Thank you for attending my virtual talk.